Let's face it, Georgia Tech is an absolute train wreck, and it's not going to get any better. So I have a feeling this prediction might be kind of short, but we're going to do it anyways. Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, here to predict the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets schedule and record for this 2022 college football season. Guys, a year for Georgia Tech that's going to be pretty rough and easily could spell the end of the Geoff Collins era. Georgia Tech has gone 3-9 each of the last 3 years under Geoff Collins, and last year, in their final 2 games, they were shut out 100-0 combined against Notre Dame and Georgia. Yes, they didn't have their quarterback Jeff Sims, but would it have mattered? No. You look at Georgia Tech and the numbers, guys, brought to you by College Football Encyclopedia. Things aren't trending in the right direction like they should for a coach entering his 4th year with the program. The Yellow Jackets have only returned 49% of the team from last year. That's 118th in the country. They rank 92nd in the country on offense, 117th in the country on defense last year. Jeff Sims returns at quarterback, and he does have talent, does have that dual threat capability, but he's got to stay healthy and he's got to stay consistent. Georgia Tech loses 2 of their top 3 rushers in Jordan Mason and Jahmyr Gibbs, who transferred out to Alabama, and they have a pretty poor offensive line. You look at the defense, a defense that only returns 3 starters from last year, a defense that had the worst pass rush in the entire ACC, a defense that only forced 3 interceptions in all of 2021, only one of those coming against an FBS opponent. Georgia Tech is down bad. 2022 is not going to be getting any better for them. Take a look at their schedule, guys. It's brutal. It's a tough schedule for Geoff Collins and Georgia Tech. They opened the year against Clemson, because why not? Monday night, Labor Day Monday, Clemson in Atlanta. Last year, Georgia Tech only lost to Clemson 14-8, right? Only by 6 points in Death Valley. That's not going to be the case this year. They're not going to get as lucky this year. Clemson's defense is legit. They're going to be one of the best in the country. Georgia Tech will struggle offensively, and Clemson will exploit that. And they'll also exploit that poor offensive line, as the Tigers will have one of the best defensive lines in the nation. Clemson wins that game. Georgia Tech 0-1. They take on Western Carolina week 2. Think we're going to give them a win there. Should be able to pull off that win. And the schedule gets brutal once again. A home game against Ole Miss. Yes, an Ole Miss team that lost Matt Corral and a handful of other big-time offensive and defensive starters, but still Ole Miss team that just reloaded. Jackson Dart coming in at quarterback from USC. Zach Evans coming in at running back from TCU. Lane Kiffin and Lincoln Riley, the 2 kings of the transfer portal. Ole Miss pretty much reloaded, and they're going to light up this Georgia Tech secondary. Again, a defense that couldn't create turnovers and couldn't stop the pass to save their life. So they dropped the game to Ole Miss. They dropped the game to UCF. The game is at the Bounce House, a very, very difficult place to play. And a UCF team that has a lot of talent in year 2 under Gus Malzahn. Mikey Keene back at quarterback. Their top 3 rushers are back. 8 starters are back on defense, a defense that ranked 53rd nationally last year compared to Georgia Tech's 117th. UCF's the real deal. They're a legit contender in the American. Going to be moving to the Big 12 soon. They're going to take down Georgia Tech. So the Yellow Jackets now are 1-3. They're going to be 1-4 after the loss to Pittsburgh. The Yellow Jackets lost 52-21 to Pittsburgh last year. Now the game is on the road for the Yellow Jackets. Yes, Pittsburgh loses Jordan Addison to USC. Yes, they lose Kenny Pickett to the NFL. But very similar to Ole Miss, Pittsburgh went out there and utilized the transfer portal. They bring in a USC quarterback of their own, and Keaton Slovis. The trenches, offensive line and defensive line, are extremely good and talented for Pittsburgh. Secondary is a little bit underrated, I would say. Pittsburgh is going to be fine. They're going to take down Georgia Tech. We're not going to see a 31-point swing in 2022. We do think the Yellow Jackets, though, take down Duke. So they get their 2nd win, and they get a conference win by taking down the Blue Devils. This is pretty much the game for last place. This is the game to determine who will be the worst team in the ACC, if you're asking me personally. Georgia Tech won on the road last year, 31-27. They're at home now in Atlanta. I think they're going to get the win over a Blue Devils team that's dealing with a new coach, and Mike Elko has questions on both sides of the ball. They had the worst defense in the nation last year. Duke did. The worst defense in the nation last year. So you could see a lot of points scored in this game. But ultimately, we're going to give the edge to maybe the team that we think has a slightly better defense and home field advantage. So Georgia Tech, their 2nd win. They're 2-4 heading into their bye week. But the schedule, again, does not lighten up. They come out of their bye week to take on Virginia. They hung with Virginia last year, guys. The Cavaliers only won that game 48-40. And that was the thing with Georgia Tech. They were inconsistent. Had a couple games where they hung with teams they shouldn't have. They pulled off a major upset over North Carolina, blew the Tar Heels out early in the year. You never knew what you were going to get from Geoff Collins. I think we're going to know this year, and it's not going to be good. They take on Virginia. Again, a Virginia defense that also, like Georgia Tech's, is terrible. But Georgia Tech gave up over 273 passing yards per game last year. Their secondary ranked 121st in the nation. They're now going up against Brennan Armstrong, who was accounting for over 400 yards per game by himself. Virginia had the second-ranked passing offense in the country last year. They're going to light up Georgia Tech's secondary again. Could be a lot of points scored, but Virginia is the better team here. And they certainly have the better offense. They win the game. Georgia Tech loses on the road to Florida State. They beat Florida State in Tallahassee a few years ago, spoiled Mike Norvell's opener with the Seminoles. I believe it was 16-13 back in 2020. But they're not going to be able to do that again this year because Florida State has utilized the transfer portal extremely well. They're in year 3 under Mike Norvell. Jordan Travis seems to be taking a step forward. So does the defense. At home in Tallahassee, they will not lose to Georgia Tech again. That would be unacceptable. And then go on the road to take on Virginia Tech. Blacksburg, not an easy place to play. Georgia Tech only fell by 9 last year, 26-17. But the kicker here, guys, is Virginia Tech's defense isn't bad. Virginia Tech, under Brent Pry, no one really knows what to expect. The offense is going to go through a bunch of growing pains, a lot of issues here. But the defense should be solid because of who they bring back, and obviously Brent Pry being a very solid defensive mind. Game in Blacksburg, Virginia Tech should win this game by about probably 10 to 14 points again. Georgia Tech will lose at home to Miami. Last year, they only fell by 3, so again, another one of those games where they hung with a team that maybe they shouldn't have. But Miami seems to be trending up in a big way. Mario Cristobal comes in as the new head coach from Oregon. Tyler Van Dyke is a first-round NFL draft pick whenever he decides to go. This, again, to me, screams Virginia repeat. Miami's going to air it out, and they're going to torch Georgia Tech's secondary, just like Virginia's going to air it out and torch the secondary, just like Ole Miss is going to do that. And that's going to be a weak spot, obviously, for Georgia Tech. And when they face elite passing attacks, they're going to struggle. Miami will be one of those teams. They fall to the Hurricanes. They fall to North Carolina. We talked about them a second ago. North Carolina, they beat the Tar Heels 45-22 last year. It was quite a shock. But North Carolina, again, had a pretty disappointing year when it was all said and done. North Carolina should be improved now. Tar Heels, yes, lose Sam Howell, but whether it's Drake May or Jacoby Criswell at quarterback, they're going to be just fine. The defense should improve, and UNC absolutely wants revenge after that embarrassment from last year. So the Yellow Jackets dropped that game, and then, of course, a no-brainer, dropped the game on the road to Georgia. The reigning national champions, a team that has an absolute elite defense, a team that Georgia Tech has fallen to 4 years in a row. Georgia has won the last 4 over the Yellow Jackets, and they've won them by a combined score of 180-35. 180-35. Last year, I believe, 45, 55, and nothing shutout to the Bulldogs, and we expect something relatively similar in 2022. So having said all that, guys, we have Georgia Tech going 2-10 in 2022. Not ideal for Geoff Collins. He's going to be out 3-9, 3-9, 3-9, 2-10. You're going backwards. No signs of improvement, just signs of regression. Georgia Tech not being able to utilize the transfers they brought in, not being able to recruit extremely well. 2-10 for the Yellow Jackets, and they will usher in a new era for the Yellow Jacket football in 2023. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Check out everything down in the description below. Especially, guys, check out our website, thegridironexpert.com, where you can sign up for our expert picks, some of the best college football and NFL spread picks in the entire country. Do not miss out on that. Become a part of our team today. We want you to become a part of our GE Nation. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.